In Afghanistan, Master Sergeant John has lost his Staff Sergeant Jack and an interpreter to a Taliban bomb while they were checking his truck. Sometime later, John receives a new Staff Sergeant, Kirscher, and an interpreter, Ahmed. John tells Ahmed that this unit specializes in finding Taliban munitions and explosive sites. While John and his team come to find Taliban firearms in a place, Ahmed informs him that they won't find any there because he knows what is behind those doors. There, they only discover a group of guys smoking, and John is curious about how much Ahmed knows about what they do there. He responds that he is a man about town. They spend their break time eating barbecue and toast to his deceased companion, Jack. John informs Colonel Vokes of the issue that they keep going out and achieving nothing. He keeps putting his men in constant danger. Vokes advises him to get creative and do it his own way to find them, but he doesn't think that Vokes will like his way. He then meets with Sergeant Declan to take the list of unvetted targets. He asks Ahmed if he recognizes this guy, and as he does, John takes him to go with him. After that, they kidnap the man to ask him for information about the Taliban. The man reveals he knows who Ahmed is and accuses him of being a traitor. He swears that he will kill Ahmed's entire family and not offer to help them, so John gives him some cash and a suit for a hot little island in the Caribbean. John asks the man where the Taliban's main location for making bombs is. He replies that it's not just one location. He has seen some places where they make explosives and stockpile them, though he is not going to tell where it is unless he gets more pay. John tells him that he will get it when they finish the job, but Ahmed suggests they should give it to him now because it will save them a lot of time. Even though John refuses to, Ahmed still gives him more. The man reveals that in these past 2 days, new explosives have been sent across the country. He was supposed to be there and help. John asks Eddie what the man said to Ahmed and is curious how they know each other. Eddie responds that they used to work with the Taliban, and the reason Ahmed is working for them now is that the Taliban killed his son. John tells Ahmed not to override his authority again, and he apologizes for his clumsy methods. John informs Vokes that there are 2 sites of Taliban IEDs, which stand for improvised explosive devices. He will do them one at a time and keep it quiet. Jizzy tells the team that the first location is 30 clicks away, an hour's drive on a straight track. Then they reach a fork in the road and take a left. Hadi thinks after they reach the fork in the road, they should turn right because he feels it is the quickest route. Though, according to the map, it is not the quickest route by turning right, and he says most of the road on the left got washed away. Since there is no intel to confirm or deny, they decide to take that route, which adds about 20 minutes more. Ahmed asks John to stop the vehicle as he feels something is wrong. He says there is no logical reason for Hadi to lead them down that route unless he is leading them into a trap. He has been thinking about all the possible reasons why Hadi would take that route, and all the answers smell bad. He lied about the road being washed out, but the recent rainfalls didn't affect this area. So, John asks Jizzy to check the drone to see if there is any ambush up ahead, but all sights are clear. Meanwhile, Ahmed attacks Hadi, telling everyone that he gave up their position. John doesn't care whether he is a traitor and orders Ahmed to take his gun away from his throat. Jizzy informs John that it looks like an ambush. He saw a Taliban kill box 8 clicks up this road, so John orders everyone to get back to the base. He video calls to see his kids and asks his wife about her business. She replies it's good. They have bookings for the next 6 weeks and beyond. Though, she expresses concern about him and tells him to hurry back home. Ahmed returns to his wife to help her during her pregnancy. She is curious about when they will get their visas, and Ahmed tells her not to worry as it takes time. John approaches Vokes to tell him that the second location of the IED is 120 kilometers away. He asks to take a couple of aircraft, but Vokes doesn't allow him to. As they arrive at the mine, a Taliban fighter informs his commander that the military is here, and the commander orders his men to confront them. As they begin to search the place, they come across an IED factory on the hill, and John requests air support before going in. He discovers that those Taliban have tortured a man, and one of them is Jack's killer. Meanwhile, a group of Taliban show up to confront them, and Eddie is killed. Since the Taliban are numerous, they are unable to keep up with them. Only John and Ahmed are left remaining, and they successfully escape from the Taliban into the jungle. They settle there for the night, while John grieves over the death of his companions. During sunrise, John awakens Ahmed to tell him that the Taliban are everywhere, so they can't use the roads, and they are double timing it instead of walking. While coming across 2 Taliban down the hill, they kill them quietly to prevent exposing their position. Then they encounter another 2 on the hill who aren't aware of them yet, and John tells Ahmed to turn back slowly. However, John realizes one of the Taliban has already seen him, so he is forced to kill them and attracts the other Taliban to his location. They find relief upon seeing that those Taliban aren't aware that they are hiding in a nearby small cave. They come across an abandoned house and decide to rest there for the night. John awakens because of the walkie-talkie he stole from the Taliban and hears a man telling the other that he sees a house. He assumes they are close and begins to check around. He gets shot down when the Taliban fire repeatedly at him, causing him to be injured in his right arm and left leg. One of the Taliban attempts to finish him off, but the other calms him down because their boss needs him alive. While they argue between wanting to kill him and keeping him alive, Ahmed suddenly shows up to take all of them down. He isn't going to leave John behind, so he crafts a wooden cart to carry him back to the base. After a few days, Ahmed arrives at a village and buys a truck from a villager. He encounters a group of Taliban whose car has broken down, and they ask to accompany him. They have no idea that John is in the back of the truck because he is covered in rugs. Ahmed is relieved to know that they are unaware of his identity. He comes across a group of people and asks them for some food and pain relief for John. He also asks to exchange his truck for their wooden cart. A man discovers that Ahmed and John are the two that the Taliban are looking for. However, he agrees to help them since he doesn't like the Taliban, and he gives Ahmed opium that can help ease John's pain. No matter how exhausted Ahmed gets, he keeps carrying John from one mountain to another to avoid the Taliban, and eventually, he sees the military base from a hill. He then encounters Taliban when he comes to get water at a stall, and one of them becomes suspicious upon seeing John's legs. However, he takes them down before they can react. In the meantime, the military arrives to arrest Ahmed, and John finally gets rescued. 3 weeks later, John receives a medal for surviving in Taliban territory with a broken arm and leg. He tells Declan that he doesn't remember any of it, and the award should go to Ahmed. As far as he knows, he was just a passenger. Declan doesn't think Ahmed wants the medal as much as a visa he needs. But even if they can get him a visa, they still need to find him first. After he carried John 100 clicks, he found himself a local folk hero to everyone but the Taliban. He ended up on their top 10 most wanted list with a price on his head, so he disappeared and went underground with his family. Declan reached out to Ahmed's brother and senses that he knows where Ahmed is, but he is not going to give them information until they get Ahmed a visa. John contacts the embassy almost every day to ask if Ahmed's visa has been approved, and every time he's on the call with them, they always put him on hold until one day he loses patience and threatens to kill the staff. He can't bring himself to rest upon knowing that Ahmed is in danger out there because of him. As he arranges to go get Ahmed out by himself, Declan tells him that he can seek help from Parker, who is a private security contractor, but it's going to cost a lot. He has to get a different name and background to return to Afghanistan so that he can avoid the Taliban. Ahmed is hunted down by the Taliban everywhere. He's aware that they are approaching his house after getting informed by his ally, and escapes through the back door into the truck. John's wife is upset to know that he's arranging to go back to Afghanistan. She has been saying goodbye to him for 12 years, not knowing whether she'll see his face again. But she has lived like he was dead already. Though, she decides to remortgage their house for him to go help Ahmed in hopes that he comes back alive. Vokes confronts John that he has been making a lot of noise lately and plays the recording of him threatening to kill the staff. But he responds that he comes here to ask him to pay his debt because he saved his life 8 years ago. He needs him to get Ahmed and his family's visas done. John says goodbye to his family and makes his way to meet Parker with his new identity known as Ron K. Parker has contacted Ahmed's brother Ollie, who says that he has found the village where Ahmed is, but he has had no direct contact yet. The plan was to go to Ahmed's brother, but now Parker has been pulled away to do another job. John is furious upon knowing that and asks him to honor the contract. He responds that if John holds up there for 3 days, his team is all his. John replies that this is not how the contract works because in 3 days, a warm body will turn cold. So, Parker tells him that if he can find Ahmed and his family, call them with the location, and they will bring them back home. John has 2 options. He can either wait 3 days and get the full magazine, or he can go now but he's going solo with a good wheel and a full set of tools. Though, he decides to go alone instead of waiting 3 days. He comes to meet Ollie to ask for Ahmed's location, and Ollie tells him to go with his truck driver Puya, who has a pass to get through the Taliban checkpoints. The last time Ollie talked to Ahmed was a week ago, and he is due to move in 2 days. This is his last chance to move out of this country because the price on his head is too great now. Puya gets past the first checkpoint, but he isn't getting through the second one, so John has to kill them when they become aware he is in the truck. A spy informs his commander Sadr that 2 men have killed their soldiers at the checkpoint, and Sadr orders him to find out who they are. Vokes informs John that he got the visas for Ahmed's whole family and he is having them delivered to Parker. After a while, John found Ahmed in a village and tells Parker about it. They got his location, and Parker asks him to come to Darunta Dam as it is the nearest extraction point and instructs him to call them back when he is en route. He quietly approaches Ahmed, and Ahmed is surprised to see him again. He believes it must have been quite challenging for John to find him, though he likes staying in Afghanistan much more than other places. The spy informs Sadr that he found John and Ahmed, and they send out their men there instantly. Parker discovers that Ron K is actually John, so he turns things around and sends out the Air Force. John has many Taliban on his trail, and he interrupts them by taking down one of their trucks. He orders Puya to block the tunnel, then explodes the truck to delay them. The Taliban have now grown in numbers, and soon John and Ahmed run out of bullets. John isn't able to contact Parker, and there is also no sign of help coming. He thinks this might be the end for him, losing all hope. But suddenly, Parker's Air Force shows up to take all of them down in just a few seconds. He tells John that if he had told him he was John and his friend was Ahmed, he would have had this whole thing on him. He gets them on the helicopter and gives John Ahmed and his family's visas. In the end, they return to the United States on the Air Force.